The room door was never locked. Not once, and especially not at night. Jovia believed in openness, in trust, in the kind of freedom that came from having nothing to hide. After all, it was just the three of them in their modest apartment in the bustling heart of Nairobi. Her husband Emeka, and their son Aaron. What harm could come from an unlocked bedroom door? Aaron was only 7 the first time he saw them. He had wandered from his small room, drawn by sounds that cut through the thin walls. Strange, rhythmic sounds, punctuated by his mother's voice in a tone he'd never heard during the day. He stood frozen in the doorway, his small body barely visible in the dim corridor light. His mother caught him that night, face flushed and glistening, and she laughed, actually laughed as she shooed him away. "Aaron, go back to bed, little man. This is grown-up time, you hear?" No anger, no scolding, and certainly no locked door the next night. Jovia was like that with everything. Raw, unfiltered. She would discuss her bedroom activities with friends over afternoon drinks, her voice carrying across the balcony where Aaron and his friend Lucy played with toy cars. Her best friend Amara would wince. "Jovia, please, the children are right there," she'd whisper urgently. But Jovia would wave dismissively, laughter spilling out. "They're kids. They don't understand these things. When they grow up, they'll understand." But children understand more than we give them credit for. They collect fragments of adult conversations like precious stones, piecing them together into mosaics adults never intended them to see.
The two women had been friends since secondary school, business partners trading fabrics across East Africa. Their children, Aaron and Lucy, born 3 months apart, had been inseparable since birth. Birthday parties, school runs, afternoons watching cartoons while their mothers counted money. The parents found their closeness adorable. "Look at our children," Jovia would say, pinching Lucy's cheeks. "You're already Aaron's wife, aren't you?" It started as harmless banter, but words repeated over years have a way of shaping reality. Aaron continued his midnight observations. Each time his mother caught him, the response was the same. A playful reprimand, a gentle push back to his room, but never any real consequence. His father, Emeka, exhausted from his accounting job, seemed oblivious. The lack of boundaries only sharpened Aaron's curiosity. He learned to move quieter, to time his visits when sounds grew loudest and his parents were too distracted to notice the small shadow at their door.
At Riverside Secondary School, Aaron excelled. Top student, teacher's favorite, mathematics, English, advanced mathematics, he dominated them all. Juvia attended the same school, different class. They met during breaks under the jacaranda tree, sharing snacks and homework while others played football on the dusty field. By 16, Aaron was still the best in Form 4. At a special assembly, Principal Mrs. Adeleke presented him with a smartphone, a reward from school alumni. Jovia and Emeka beamed with pride. "This young man will go far," Mrs. Adeleke announced. "He is the future of this nation." That phone became Aaron's private window into a world his parents never suspected. Within a week, he'd exhausted educational apps. By week 2, his searches grew specific, driven by fragments he'd been collecting since age 7. The videos were explicit, detailed, endlessly available. What had been glimpses through doorways became comprehensive education in things no 16-year-old should consume alone while parents assumed he was studying. 9 years of curiosity now had a name, a purpose, and a target. He thought of Lucy constantly. One afternoon after school, they met behind the assembly hall. "Lucy, come, I want to show you something," Aaron said, voice low. He showed her a video. The images were unmistakable. 2 people, naked, bodies moving in ways that made Lucy's stomach tighten with shock and something else. She watched seconds before instinct kicked in. "Aaron, what is this?" Her voice sharp with alarm. "This isn't right. Please turn it off." She backed away, school bag clutched like a shield. "Don't show me things like this again, okay?" She hurried toward the gate, mind racing with images she couldn't unsee. That evening, Lucy watched her mother, Amara, prepare ugali. Mr. Okonkwo was traveling, so just the two of them. Lucy stirred her stew absently. "Mum, what do married people do when nobody's watching them?" The wooden spoon clattered against the pot. Amara spun around, eyes sharp with suspicion. Lucy, what did you just say? Where's that question coming from? I was just wondering. Wondering what? Amara's hand connected with Lucy's cheek in a sharp slap that echoed off tiles. Kneel down there, right now! For over 2 hours, Lucy kneeled on hard concrete, tears streaming, while her mother paced between silent fury and sharp rebukes. Your peers are reading books, and you're asking foolish questions? But Amara never answered the question. She only communicated one thing. This topic was dangerous, shameful, forbidden. She never asked where the question came from, never investigated what prompted her daughter's curiosity. The punishment didn't kill Lucy's curiosity. It taught her she couldn't ask her mother for answers. 2 days later, Aaron's text, "Sorry about the other day. Can we talk?" She agreed to meet. This time she didn't walk away. She listened as he explained what he'd learned, words tumbling with confidence. He seemed to know everything about the secret world adults kept locked behind closed doors. His knowledge fascinated her. Fear transformed into curiosity, then desire. They met more frequently. Conversations grew bolder, touches more daring. The childhood friendship their parents jokingly called marriage was becoming something neither innocent nor voluntary. Curiosity, hormones, and absence of guidance colliding. Aaron's house became their meeting place. Jovia and Emeka's schedule was predictable. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at the market, returning evening. Aaron had his key. Lucy knew the schedule. First time alone in his room, they were nervous, fumbling. But each meeting, nervousness faded. Acts became familiar, confident, complete. Parents noticed increased time together but only smiled. "Look at our husband and wife," Jovia would tease. "Lucy, I hope you're cooking for your husband." The joke continued, blind comedy over tragedy. But secrets in close-knit neighborhoods have ways of revealing themselves. Mrs. Kimani, living below Aaron's family, kept track of building comings and goings. She noticed patterns. Every Tuesday and Thursday, Lucy slipping in after Aaron arrived from school, checking corridors before closing doors. One Thursday, she heard sounds through her ceiling, too rhythmic, too deliberate for innocent play. 3 weeks of observation. Then conscience wouldn't stay silent. One Saturday morning, she knocked on Jovia's door. "Sister Jovia, please, I need to talk about something serious. Your son." "My son? My Aaron? What about my son?" "Sister, I've been seeing things. Every Tuesday and Thursday when you leave, that Lucy girl comes here and so what? They've been friends since small. Children can't visit friends anymore?" Jovia's voice rose, attracting neighbors to their balconies. "Sister, it's not ordinary visits. The things I hear from downstairs." "You're hearing things? Spying on us? My son is the best student in his school, and you're trying to ruin his name with your dirty mind?" Jovia was shouting now, finger jabbing Mrs. Kimani's chest. "My Aaron is responsible, smarter than all your children. You're just jealous, bringing bad news to my house." Mrs. Kimani shook her head sadly. "I've said my part. If anything happens, nobody should say I didn't warn you." She descended while Jovia slammed the door. Inside, Aaron heard everything, heart pounding. When his mother entered asking if everything was okay, he smiled innocently. "Mom, you know Miss Kimani is always a busybody. Don't mind her." Jovia laughed, rubbing his head. "I know my child. She's just jealous." The door remained unlocked that night. Secret meetings continued. Aaron and Lucy grew bolder. The thrill of almost being caught became part of the excitement. One afternoon during lunch break, they slipped into the boys' bathroom on the second floor, rarely used during lunch. So absorbed in each other, they forgot to lock the stall properly. Time disappeared. Lunch ended. Bell rang. Students shuffled to classrooms. But Aaron and Lucy remained lost in their secret world. Mr. Mwangi, the security guard, took his duty seriously.
Every afternoon, complete premises check. No students hiding corners. He checked classrooms, library, science lab. Finally, bathrooms. When he pushed open the second-floor boys' bathroom door, he heard sounds. Walked towards the slightly open stall. What he saw made his blood
Run cold.
"Dear God!" he exclaimed, voice echoing off tiles. "What is this? Come out now, both of you! Get out of there right now!" 30 minutes later, Aaron and Lucy sat in the principal's office, heads bowed, unable to meet anyone's eyes. Mrs. Adeleke's face was disappointment and rage. Emergency staff meeting, 8 teachers, faces showing shock, disgust, sadness. Phone calls to parents went out immediately. Jovia and Emeka arrived first, faces tight with confusion. Amara and Mr. Okonkwo came 20 minutes later. Mrs. Adeleke didn't waste time. Your children were found in a highly compromising position in the school bathroom. Mr. Mwangi witnessed it directly. Room erupted. Mr. Okonkwo's voice boomed like thunder. "What is this nonsense? Amara, you see what your friend's son has done to our daughter. I'll deal with all of you today." Mrs. Adeleke turned fire on Jovia. "Madam, this boy is your son. You gave a 16-year-old a phone without monitoring what he's using it for? Don't you check browsing history? This happened in your house, under your roof, and you didn't see anything?" Jovia had no words. For the first time, her quick responses failed. She looked at Aaron. He couldn't meet his eyes. Every unlocked door, dismissed warning, crude joke, crashed down at once. Mr. Okonkwo threatened legal action. "I'll make sure you people pay for this. My daughter, 16 years old. Her future is ruined because of this useless boy." But Amara, tears flowing silently, finally spoke. Voice quiet, but cutting through chaos like a knife. "Stop it. Stop all this shouting." She turned to her husband. "I failed her too. She came to me with a question, just the simple question, and instead of answering like a mother should, I beat her, made her kneel for hours, made her afraid to ask me anything. So she went looking for answers in the wrong place." Voice broke. "This is my fault, as much as Jovia's, as much as anybody's." Room fell silent. 2 families, 2 children, and catastrophe built from 1,000 small failures. If you're learning about the importance of active, aware parenting, subscribe to Black Nation channel for more stories that every parent needs to hear. Consequences were swift. Both students expelled from Riverside Secondary. Families' 2-decade friendship shattered under blame and bitterness. Mr. Okonkwo refused to speak to Jovia's family. Amara couldn't continue business partnership. Aaron and Lucy, once inseparable, forbidden from ever contacting each other. Aaron's phone confiscated and destroyed. Lucy enrolled in all-girls school across town. But the damage was done. Innocence gone, not stolen by malice or evil, but lost through carelessness of the very people meant to protect them. For more stories that challenge you to become the parent your children truly need, subscribe to Black Nation channel. Because what you don't teach them, the world will. Parenting in modern Africa requires more than providing food and school fees. It requires vigilance, uncomfortable conversations, and humility to answer questions we'd rather not hear. Children are always watching, listening, learning. What we model becomes their normal. What we dismiss becomes their permission. What we fail to protect them from becomes their burden to carry. Doors we leave unlocked in our homes, conversations, devices, are invitations into worlds they're not equipped to handle. When neighbors raise concerns and we respond with anger instead of investigation,
We choose pride over children's safety. When children ask difficult questions and we respond with beatings instead of age-appropriate honesty, we send them searching for answers in dangerous places. This story isn't about assigning blame to one person. It's about understanding parenting requires constant attention, proper boundaries, and courage to admit mistakes before they destroy children's futures. Erin was a brilliant student with promising future. Lucy was sweet, obedient girl. Both had parents who loved them. But love without wisdom, without communication, without proper boundaries is not enough. Subscribe to Black Nation channel, because the leaders of tomorrow are shaped by the protectors of today, and that responsibility belongs to you. The price of neglect is always paid by those who can least afford it. Our children.